Hi, and happy spring, everyone. Happy Friday and happy spring. Lynn, are you keeping warm? I see where you are having snow today. Our weather here has been super, super weird. Usually, we're still running the wood stove. It's usually still very cold outside, and it's a little unnerving because it was 82 degrees here today. It was warm like this yesterday, and I actually slept with the windows open last night in my regular springish pajamas. Not summer ones, but still short sleeves and all that. So, really weird, really weird. So, I thought I'd go ahead and make a little announcement. It's nothing major, but just something I think is a little fun. I went ahead and I have started a Substack. And for those of you who are not familiar with what Substack is, it's basically just a platform where for blogging and people post different things. I'm just still kind of exploring it, but I'm trying to kind of um, also for myself let it be an area of just sharing my thoughts and feelings and perspective on different things going on in my life and mine and Dean's life, and without making a video. I'm still going to, of course, I love our community, but I just thought it'd be an extra little thing out there. So I'm going to go ahead and I posted for the first time last Saturday. So I am planning on posting every Saturday. Hey, Bree, you do Substack. I did not know that. Are you under the same kind of handle as your YouTube here? If so, I'm going to look you up and follow you. That is awesome. I know Lynn has a blog as well that I love reading. I haven't, seen anything pop up too recently, but anyway, but yeah, I love reading her blog. Lynn, I'm not techie either. It was mentioned to me, I believe, my brother-in-law asked me because he was starting something, and he asked me if I was familiar with it or if I used it. I had heard about it, but I'd never used it, and I'm not techie either. So then I believe Anthony was the one who encouraged me to go ahead and start, or to kind of, explore it and see. And so I did. And it looks fairly user friendly. And it was kind of neat. And I just thought it was like a different way to connect. It really kind of drilled home in me. Was it our last live that we were talking about the new homestead? And I was talking about, just needing the sense of community, and I didn't quite feel, that I had it. Was that last week? I can't remember. Anyway, so I kind of explained on my only post so far on there about that, and just kind of wanting to create that space for everyone that wants to read over there. Bree, you do not have one, but I'm subscribed to about 30 of them. Yeah, I mean, I went through them and I started subscribing to them. What is the name of mine? That is a good question. I pinned the link, and I don't know if I did it like, I don't want to press on it because I don't want to mess up the live stream here. I would check under my name first. You would think I could pull it up on my phone. Let's see. It's under my name, Bree. Yeah. So first and last name. So that's good. Um, yeah. Sorry about that. Again, like Lynn said, I'm not really techie either. I kind of learn as I go, and I know enough to get me through and sometimes make me a little dangerous. Um, I'm going to apologize in advance tonight. I'm speaking a little bit more slowly. I'm feeling really run down. I'm off of a couple of the medications I was taking for my back, but I am on a new one, and I'm not quite adjusted yet. I just started it yesterday. So only 2.5 weeks to go until my ablation. A part of me cannot wait. A big part of me, the majority part of me can't wait because I'm over this, but I'm I'm a little afraid for this procedure. I just because of what it entails, I did a dumb thing. Don't ever do this. But I had heard I had a basic idea of what it entailed, what it was. So I decided to go online and look it up and read all about it. Mhm. Don't do that. So now it's giving me more anxiety than what I normally have when I go to get an injection. Let's see and catch up with the comments. Yeah, I left off with Bree there. Lynn, you're going back out to the new property again soon now that the weather is getting better, but you have snow still. You're getting snow today. Wow. It is always so exciting to get to go back out. I'm not going to get to go back out to our new homestead for a couple weeks because after I have this procedure on my back, I can't fly. I think it is like for a week or two because of the risk of getting blood clots. It's considered a surgical procedure, and I guess it's just because they're cauterizing your nerves. I don't know why it's considered a surgical procedure because I'm going to be awake, and I guess I always associate um, surgery with being under anesthesia. But got your order today. Lots of plants and seeds. I got ours yesterday. And I videoed it, and I was actually working on the editing um, portion of it until Dean and I had to run an errand. So I'm almost finished with it. And so I will most likely finish it sometime tonight. I'm halfway through, so just a couple more hours, and it'll probably get posted, early tomorrow morning, like I usually do, in the mornings. Lots of plants and seeds. What kind of plants did you get? I love the garden stuff. I can't get any plant starts yet, but I can get seeds. So let me know what kind of plants you got. Bree, did any of those storms affect your area? And if you already had stuff planted out, were you able to, protect it, salvage it? Thanks, Bree. Thank you, Lynn and Bree, for checking out the Substack. Ooh, some new tomato varieties. Yay for tomatoes. I can't wait. I cannot wait. You're trying the cutting celery. I did that year before last, and it's good. Wait a minute. I don't think I did like the Utah, like really big thick celery. I didn't. I did the it's called the varieties called Chinese pink and Chinese white. It has a lot of flavor, but the stalks are pretty thin, and they get, long just like regular celery, but the stalks are thin. And I just did it because I thought they were pretty and I needed celery. But you know, I only can grow enough to eat fresh over the summer because I just go through it so much. I will continue to buy the dehydrated. Different from the whole head. Yeah. I am going to be trying something new this year in the garden. I am going to be planting birdhouse gourds. I think I showed that on the last Azure video. I think that's when those seeds came in. Anyway, I'm really excited about that because I have those two trellises out there. And regardless of when this homestead sells, I'm still going to go down there. I think once our listing goes live, that'll happen on April 6th, the same day as my ablation. So I'm just believing for great things that day. Um, but I think I'm just going to go down there and put some seeds in the ground. I mean, the worst that can happen, it doesn't come up. And the greatest thing that can happen is that, someone, whoever, buys this homestead and they will be pleasantly surprised when things start popping up out of the ground. Oh, and while Bree, I have you on here. Yes. Yeah, that's why we were waiting to list. Yes. Um, yeah. I mean, plus we need a little bit of time. They've got to come out here and professional photographers taking pictures, and they make up this whole little booklet and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And they take all kinds of pictures. And we also needed just a little bit of time to get this pantry cabinet moved out of here. And, just Dean needs to clean up some of the wood around his shop. And I need to pull any personal stuff off the walls. So, with my back being what it is, um, that is going to be, I'm needed time. I can't just do that overnight like I used to be able to. And yeah, so we said, you know what, we'll be ready the day that I have to have the ablation. So it'll be a good day all the way around. Okay. Um, Brie, yes, I wanted to show you something. Ta-da! I am so excited about this. I hope I'm not giving too much of a glare. It's just starting. You see my broccoli seed sprouts? You're not too bad of a glare. Anyway, I just did their second rinse before we started. Yeah, I've been so excited, and I've kept them in the pantry, and I just kept this towel over top of them. But I just started them. Today's Friday. I started them Tuesday night. So yeah, I'm super excited. And I was just showing these to Dean. I was like, you know what? A couple more days, we're gonna have sprouts to eat. So thank you, because now after I've done it once, and I don't think I would have had as good a result without that special lid and everything. And I think that maybe the sprouts, the little seeds, would have stuck to the cheesecloth. Because even now, like I shook them out, but even now, like when I'm rinsing them, sometimes there's a few that'll stick in the mesh. But as soon as I keep the water going over top of them, they go down and they get rinsed and everything like that. But no, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited. So that's one of the things on my list that I said I wanted to branch out this year and learn how to do with sprouts. And thank you for your help, because now I can get it going. I have a feeling. I told Dean about them being super healthy, and I've been reading up on it, and I'm really happy to be able to, just have another form of having some nutrient dense food, especially in the winter, when you really can't you can't get out and have fresh greens or anything. um, Lynn, you be relishing this place again in April or early May. Hopefully, we sell it this year. Oh, you'll be listing your place too. Wow. Well, I hope and pray for the very best for both of us that it won't be a prolonged thing because, we'll get 24 hours notice here. That's what they do. It's not a good idea out this remote to just roll up somebody's driveway. Um, but yeah, it's still kind of a tense time, always being on the ready and never really feeling like you get to relax as much. Plus, put all that aside, I just want to be at our new homestead. I'm so excited. And I want to be looking after mom and dad and just all kinds of things. And I'm anxious to get back and paint. I have some good ideas for a couple of the rooms, and I'm excited to get them going and looking. Hopefully, I can bring it to fruition what I have in my head. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. I thought the sprouts looked good too. I'm super proud, but like I said, I know I couldn't have done it without Bree's guidance on that one. Radish sprouts are super spicy. Dean would probably like those. I'm not a fan of radishes, period. I usually grow them for him. Oh, you're relisting. So, two things. First, Bree, what other sprouts would you recommend other than radish? And Lynn, so did you have your house listed and then take it down like for the winter or something? I know some people do that. So you're just having to go through it all again, all over again. When we sold our property in Virginia, it was you can't even compare the two because it's completely different. It was a house in the suburbs on not even quite an acre of yard, but we listed it and it sold that first weekend. That would be absolute divine for that to happen out here. I would really, really, really love that. And I'm just hoping and praying that somebody that buys it will love it as much as Dina and I have. But yeah, I love our new place even more. So I feel like that's where I am already. I'm physically here, but my head and my heart and sometimes to suffice late at night, if I can't sleep, I actually go to all the pictures and just kind of look through them like I'm walking through the house again. But I didn't get to stay long enough the last time. Dean got to stay quite a bit longer than myself, but he had a lot of work to do. And so he'll get the place prepped for me the next time he goes. Just kind of like some things that were taken off the wall and stuff like that. He'll patch holes and different things like that. But then I will go and paint. We're going to go in tandem from now on because since we have the dogs here, and the house will be an active listing, when they show the house, the homestead and everything, it's going to take a little while and the dogs can't be here. So one of us is going to have to be here to get them in the car and to get off the property. So, yeah, we'll just be going in tandem and Dean will be going again soon because the HVAC is scheduled and getting ready to be put in. So that is, I'm happy about because that means we will have air conditioning, and we are going to need it there very, very soon with the humidity. And then I will get to go the next time so I can do some painting. Brie, mung bean is easy and you can add to stir fry or salad. What does it taste like? I mean, what does it remind you of? Don't do alfalfa. There's something not healthy about them, but can't remember. Yeah, I love broccoli, so I have a feeling that broccoli is going to be our favorite as well. If you guys wonder why I'm always doing this, because of the glare, there's no other spot for me to sit in down here because the cord has to reach the plug, and this is it. Um, yeah, alfalfa anyway. I feed, some pellets to the chickens as a treat and everything. I don't like the smell of it, so I don't think I would want to eat it anyway. Lynn, you've had your house listed for the last 2 summers. Oh gosh. Yeah, I guess you guys can't stay listed in the winter. You got too much snow. Yeah, hopefully both of us sell fast. I hope this sells fast. Not because I don't love it, because I do. It's like with two children or two family members. You love them both, but you love them differently. And I love this place for so many different reasons. It was where our dream came to fruition. It was the first place we truly got to homestead full time. The things that we learned out here are just, oh my gosh, countless. Um, and just the new experiences and things like that. But Virginia is home. I guess it's true. You can take the girl out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the girl. Um, it's where family is, and that's extremely important. Even though my kids are young, they're in their 20s. Um, like I've said before, being there for mom and dad is super important to me right now. Um, and it's a privilege, and I miss them. And I was just talking to mom on the phone last night, and she makes me laugh. So she's so funny. So, yeah. And my brother's nearby, and I'm anxious to get to spend some time with him and his family. So it's just a lot of different reasons. And like I said, that house, oh, I fell in love with it. It is just like something out of a dream for me. So I can't wait. I can already see myself setting up, my sewing room, and, you know, I've decided what chickens to get. I'm droning on, and I'm sorry. It's just kind of something that I'm in love with right now. So Brie, there's a salad blend of sprouts and sandwich blend on Azure that we like. I'm going to have to look for that then, because when we travel back to Virginia in the travel trailer, this will be perfect. This will be perfect to do because it's going to take us, if you were to rock and roll all day long and drive 8 hours a day, it would take 3 days. So I am just not going to go at breakneck speed with the dogs and all that. So I'm going to kind of turn it like into a little camping trip on our way back. And so I'll go ahead and make sure that we have sprouts for like wraps. And that would be a good thing, especially while being in the camper. No, Dean's parents are not. Um, they are not living. He lost his mom when she was 53. Um, he was still quite young, and she we lost her to breast cancer. And then his dad just passed away in 2021. Um, Dean has a favorite uncle who passed, shocked us all because he had just been at our house and visiting with us. He passed in April of 2021, and then his dad passed 3 months to the day in 2021. So really kind of like, having mom and dad, um, it's kind of, it's good for him too. And they love him. They love him dearly. And he's always kind of helped looking after too. Um, my brother, handles a lot of stuff for my parents, house wise, and my mom's rental property and stuff like that. But, when we were there last, dad thought the shower was leaking, and he had Dean look at it. And it's also good for Dean to know that he has that family there, in the form of like second parents. But Dean does have let's see, he has a brother. So he's getting ready to move to the Netherlands. Um, so they just keep up with each other now by Zoom calls weekly. He has an aunt in Massachusetts. She's the wife of his late uncle. And then, he has three cousins, through that marriage, but that's the end of his family line. That's it. So, yeah. There was something else. Okay, I wanted to tell you guys. So, I got sprouts. So that's one. I added candle making onto some things that I wanted to look into this year. So I'm definitely going to be looking into the bees once we get out there, because there are so many flowering things. And I'm going to add some more wildflower mix to the peace garden. So I want to add some bees out there. I want to learn some more about them. And then soap making. I just want to keep expanding. So, granted, it's going to be an expansion of the garden and the stuff I can grow, and the growing season is longer and all that. But I still want to branch out. I don't want to ever just say, okay, this is the max of what we do homesteading. So, Brie, I have gotten a lot of canning done this past week, which is quite shocking, but I think I'm feeling pushed now. We were already starting to eat down our freezer. I was doing that on purpose. It was because I knew we were going to sell, but we couldn't announce it yet. So I had started several weeks ago, trying to eat down the freezer. And we have a huge freezer, so it's been interesting. But I've gotten so much canning done. I canned 11 pints of pork. So that I cubed it up and did some strips, but it was 2 pork roasts, and then there was a few pork steaks. But I have 11 pints, and then I did 12 pints of chicken broth day before yesterday. And I did them in pints just because usually I would put them in quarts, but I did them in pints this time because I've noticed that when making rice or something like that, or, unless I'm cooking a big meal, I don't use a whole quart of chicken broth, or unless I'm making a soup or something like that. And Dean's not going to have me have soup right now. Um, so I've just been putting them in pint jars, and it's been working out really, really well. That's right, Lynn. Never stop learning. Winter is a great time to learn stuff. Yes, it is, and to get stuff done. That's for sure. Um, and then I did 8 half pints of peach topping. Now, you asked me, what is peach topping? I had some peach puree in the freezer that when I processed peaches last summer, I got tired. Because I processed so many peaches, and I just got tired. And so I had jam and halves and slices and all this kind of stuff. So I just pureed it and stuck it in a freezer bag and threw it in the freezer. And I was like, well, this is, accountability time. So I'm not throwing food away. I don't do that. No. So I was like, I got to do something with this. I have so much jam and jelly right now. I was like, well, I don't have any peach. So I started making peach jam. And I started it in the early afternoon, which is dumb. I should have done it in the morning. So come evening time, I was getting tired. My back was screaming. So it's not as thick as my jam usually is. It's definitely not jelly. And I don't like using a lot of pectin. And so usually when I make jam, I won't use any at all. I just let the sugar and the citric, acid and stuff, the natural pectin, do its job. So I think that just because I didn't have it on the stove all day long, it just didn't get quite as thick. So I'm like, you know what? This is perfect topping. You can use it as jam, but it would be thinner if you were going to like put it on a sandwich or toast. But it's perfect for like going in yogurt and ice cream. And there was something else I was thinking about using it on. But anyway, so that's what I did. That was canning this week. 11 pints of pork, 12 pints of chicken broth, and 8 half pints of peach topping. You do pints and quarts so you don't have leftovers in the fridge. Yeah. I have some quarts of chicken broth, um, but I'm just finding that I'm liking the pints right now. And I have tons of, I do all my vegetables, a majority of vegetables like potatoes and carrots and stuff. I do them in quart jars because when we eat potatoes, we'll eat a quart at a time. Ooh, brie, yeah, I could use it on pancakes. Yeah, I could. And then when I can those cherries, this past year, I also made some cherry syrup. Oh, and you want to talk about something good? That is so good. And yeah, it can be used for pancakes too. My mom, when I was growing up, like if we were out of syrup, my mom would put jelly or jam on pancakes. She would put some butter on it and then put the jelly or jam on the pancakes. And it was so good. Um, I have some blackberries in the freezer that I need to deal with. I actually have 2 bags of blackberries. So I think I'm gonna make some I saw uh, a recipe. I was reading my big ball preserving book and I saw a recipe for, hang on a second. You just barely got out of the frame of that. Dean's going upstairs. um, for blackberry vinegar. That sounds so good because I think that would be really good for like a the medicine's taking effect. It's starting to, yeah. Um, salad dressing. I think it would make a really nice summer salad dressing. Ooh, waffles. Yes, you do both as well. It is good. But yeah, so I'm planning to do blackberry vinegar. I still need to do the strawberry lemon concentrate. I have not done that yet, but I still have everything ready to go. Um, and I have some raspberries I need to do. I used one thing of blackberries and made blackberry jam. My daughter loves it. I don't know what it is about it, but she loves it. So I'll be taking some back to her. Yeah, that's about all my kitchen stuff right now. Bree, have you been doing any canning recently? Or are you, Lynn, doing any canning? I just feel like I'm spinning like a top, just trying to, and I'm trying to stay grounded. Dean he and I do lists, I guess, differently. We both know what we need to get accomplished, but he does a revolving list, and I just can't do that. It overwhelms me. So I do a list of what I want to get done for the day, but we're kind of having to keep each other in check because, we just always keep thinking of something next. Oh, there's one more thing. Oh, and he and I both tend to, once we think about it, it's like, oh, got to get that done right now. Well, no, you don't have to get it all done right now. But the list just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I'm just anxious. I want everything to be ready and perfect for, who knows? We could have a showing on April 6th. It will, as we go live. So, see, April 6th is on a Monday. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could be sold by that weekend? I keep telling Dean, I'm believing, I'm believing, I'm believing it's going to sell quickly. So, I'm also doing a lot of praying. Oh, Bree, so you can plant out tomorrow. See, it's March. I think in Virginia it's April 15. I think that's the last time that's when I used to plant out. I don't know. But you have even a longer growing season than Virginia does. Oh, you were telling me what plant starts did you get? You said you got some plant starts and some seeds from Azure. You picked up your Azure order. Onions and lettuce tomorrow. Yeah. I've got some. I'm not doing bulb onions this year just because I have zero seedlings. Because knowing this, I didn't set up any of my system to start seedlings because I just didn't want to have all that out and have people looking through the house and stuff like that. I just didn't think it looked as nice to have this pink glowing light. Chicken broth, Lynn. Chicken broth is what you've been canning lately. But plan on doing canned potatoes and sweet potatoes in the next few weeks. Yeah, yeah. I almost. It was the last Azure haul, and I was like, because I get potatoes by 50 pounds at a time, and so I'd had that in my cart, and I'm like, "Are you kidding? You're not going to have time to can more potatoes." So I still have some quart jars in the cupboard of potatoes, so I should be able to make it a little while longer. And then I'll probably be canning up. I know I'll be canning up a storm when we get moved. I know I will. Just so excited. Oh, that was the other thing, Brie. And because I didn't write it down, that's why I didn't remember it off the top of my head. Um, but I was looking into the Amish produce market, and I did kind of sort of write it down. See, I can't remember where I put it, but I know that I did because I was like, I'm not going to remember this. Um, so it is on Tuesdays and Fridays starting in April. And they tell you it starts at 9 a.m. I texted it to myself. April through October, every Tuesday and Friday, beginning at 9 a.m., is the Amish produce market. They tell you to arrive 30 minutes early so you have time to view the lots before the auction begins. And it's cash or check only. It's called Southside Produce Auction. Let me type that in here real quick. Um, and then you can Google it or whatever. There we go. So maybe, the next time I get to go, I'm going to hit that, which is kind of crazy since I've just got to go. Even if I buy flowers or something like that, I've just got to go. Because I'm sitting here thinking, well, you can't buy anything to put up because you don't even have any of your supplies there. And my mom doesn't have the proper type of stove to can on. She's not a canner anyway, but she has a glass top stove. And I want to teach her canning, but she's not really interested. So I just am going to continue to can things for her. Yeah. But yep. Okay. So yep, I was thinking about you, Bree, and I wanted you to know. Oh, and so if you ever do decide to drive up to the market, especially if we're already moved, let me know because when I was talking to mom last night, she's like, "Oh, I'd like to come with you and get to meet Bree." So the produce market is 6 miles from our new homestead, so it would be really cool. So we have 20 more minutes, and I have rambled on. So I want you guys to talk to me tonight for a little while. How do I know what they are selling? When I looked at it at the produce auction, they said, let me get back there. Hang on. Um, yeah. Oh my goodness. They had a list. Um, Yeah, but it's anything that is, like, in season throughout that whole time. They do flowers, they do boxes of, like, whatever's in season, beans, corn, and then when you go on they have a website, if you Google that, um, and it says when you Google it, it says grocery store, but it's not. And then, of course, when you pull it up, you'll see, and it looks like a warehouse, and it shows you the different boxes, and it'll tell you like what they're selling. So um, yeah, but my real estate agent, who she goes to it twice a week, she was like, they have everything, everything you can imagine. So, plus, maybe I'll go to one and let you know what it was like. Yeah, exactly, Brie. Like tomatoes from July till end of season. Yep, whatever is in season in that area. She said that they are harvesting it from their farms and they are selling it in bulk. So some of those pictures, I mean, it just showed like bushels and boxes and stuff of just different things. She and she said they were going for great prices. They were starting out at great prices, and she thought she had just bought a box of corn, and it was such a great price. And she says they come around the bend with like this big bushel. So I'm anxious to go. And they also have. She says they also have. Oh my goodness, prepared food. So when we were there last, um, the neighbor a couple miles down the road, because everybody's a couple miles down the road. But they brought us cinnamon rolls from the market. And even though that particular market wasn't open, the auction wasn't open, there's a market. And so they have some prepared things. And she said they would have prepared things at the auction as well. And so I guess people, go, and it's a long time, make a day of it. And, they have sandwiches and stuff like that. They just have such good food. Yes, yes, a big canning project. Going to the produce auction, leaving there, it would be a big canning project. And since I don't know what this year is going to look like for gardening, um, I know we're going to prepare the area. So it's going to be hard because we're going in tandem. That's why I'm praying that this house and this homestead sells quickly so that we can get out there and get stuff done. But I'm also, when I go next, I'm just going to go ahead and plant things in different areas. Maybe not have a big garden per se this year, but and there's all like areas for little bits, little garden pieces. But you better believe it, whether it's in pots, whether it's around the house or what, this girl is going to have some tomatoes. Bree, you plant beans, corn, tomatoes, and squash and peppers in April. So, wow, whole summer stuff. Yep. I am going to um, I am finally at the point with the growing season. I thought about this the other night. And again, I ask you to forgive me because my brain is just kind of skewed. And so I feel very like my words are very disjointed. But um, so when I get a thought, I have to kind of run with it. I was thinking the other night, and because of the growing season being extended in Virginia from what I'm used to here now, or from what I have here. I want to do some edible landscaping. I've just always thought that would be so great. And I know there's some peach trees out there, but I mean, I would like um, to have, like, let's say, some blackberry bramble, or I don't know. I just have to look into what kind. But I know that there's in different places, there's like, it looks like a holly bush, but it's not. It's called something. Um, I had Googled it. Anyway, it's a little bush. It has red berries on it, but it's not holly. And I thought, if I could get like a little trellis type area and I could grow I could have some edible landscaping. Like, there's a park that has like a little wooden fence, and I want to grow some on there. And oh, you know what I thought about too? Honeysuckle. Even though that's not like edible landscaping, but that smells so good. I would love to grow it on the the back deck, like the railing of the back deck. But you're going to be planting out beans, corn, tomatoes, and squash and peppers in April. Okay, so you're doing your cold stuff tomorrow. Do you do peas at all? Or is your cold stuff just lettuce and onions? Well, you do collards too. You did a lot this year of collard greens, if I remember. Yeah, it does get hot and dry. Well, I mean, but in South Carolina, I mean, I know the humidity is way up there in Virginia. Do you guys get much humidity where you are in South Carolina? I would think that you would, that it wouldn't be too dry. And I forgot, are you doing in ground or do you have them in raised beds? I know what has helped us if we've had a really dry, it's always dry out here, but if we have an exceptionally dry summer, is at Home Depot, we've gotten these things called shade cloth, and you can just attach it post to post. And, if you're having a really, really dry season, you can put something like that over top of your greens so that they don't bolt. Yes, Lynn, like a forest garden. Yeah, exactly right. Ooh, you're doing an edible flower garden this year. Ooh, that is going to be so nice. Please take some pictures and share. Oh my gosh, I bet that's going to be nice. So, I know about putting edible flowers like on your salads and stuff like that. What else do you use them for besides, unless you, I don't know how much like herbalism you do, but I know that there is a great tea for inflammation, and it's the butterfly pea flower with, lemon juice and water, and it turns this vibrant blue. It is so good. Um, oh, that's the fall garden. You can't breathe in July or August from humidity. I know. I was wondering. Um, yeah, because that's the way Virginia is, and I know that the year that I went back last year when Dad was having his hip surgery in June, I went outside with the camera and the lens, it just completely fogged up from the humidity. So that's why I'm very happy. I was getting my super excited, but I realized from my last video I need to kind of try and be more aware. I use that word so much, but I'm really happy that they're going ahead and getting our HVAC unit in, because I told him, I said, it would be so miserable even moving in May without having any air conditioning. And oh my gosh, to have window units, your electric bill would just be like through the roof. And I definitely don't want that at all. So, okay, I'm trying to connect here. So Bree, you put all your warm things out, your summer things out in April. But tomorrow, putting out onions and lettuce, those are still things that can take some cool weather should you get it. So you don't do, because of the heat, you don't have like cool crops and then summer things and then back to cool, or how do you do that? I mean, do you start seedlings in the house? Um, I've just got to get back in a completely different frame of mind on how to do this now because I've just gotten used to having one cycle out here, and I need to get in a new rhythm. Can only work in the garden before 9 a.m. or after 8 p.m. in the late summer. I do remember that because when I would go out in the evenings about 7 o'clock, 7:30 to water before I put a drip line in, I would be sweating down my back, everything. I remember being so hot just going out there to water and, coming in and having to go straight to the shower. There were some times too that I remember standing out there and just turning the garden hose to mist and just, misting myself off, before I even go in the house. So yeah, believe it or not, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to all the things. I know the humidity is miserable. I know it is, but it makes me so happy knowing that the plants love it. And actually, mom and dad are going over there tomorrow. And I asked her to take pictures of all the things in the yard and on the property that are in bloom now because the forsythia was just blooming when I left and the daffodils were budded. Um, the dogwoods the buds were starting to get full, but I want to see what has bloomed out. Bree, you can plant everything. I can plant everything I'm planting in April again in July. Okay. You can have two summer gardens. So, do you plant when do you plant a fall garden if you're going to? It's going to be so much fun. I'm just going to go on a planting heyday. And what's nice too is that, you have more than one harvest. Whereas here, I only have one harvest, and that's in September. Um, you plant after Memorial Day, and you harvest, the end of September. So I'm excited to be able to get some food in instead of just, grabbing what I do on my Azure hauls and having to live my gardening life vicariously through everybody else. I just, my garden has done well. It just, everything I do out here is cool weather crops. So um, I'm anxious to have those nightshades again. Yes, tomatoes, tomatoes, and tomatoes, and peppers. Mm. I am going to be making so much salsa until it comes out of Dean's ears because I have not been able to make salsa for 4 years now. And he loves it. And no matter what you buy, what great quality you buy or the brand you buy, having store bought salsa is not the same as having homemade salsa in September. Okay. So you'll plant again, you do your fall garden in September. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking at all the things that I know that I could not have out here, and I'm going to do them. I'm going to experiment and try so many different things. Um, you picked Zone 8B for a 3-season garden. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know I just never paid attention to it. I don't know, certain things just didn't cross our mind, and I don't know why because the garden is like major important. I think because I knew it said it was zone 6B, and I knew in Virginia we were 7B. So I didn't think about it being like cut in half, but still, like Ohio, some parts of Ohio is 6B, and it's still not the same as out here, 6B. And it's all because of the altitude and the humidity, being high desert, not having that humidity. So things don't grow as fast. And, you know, being high desert, that sun goes down and there goes all your heat. Hi, Carolyn. You're from Mississippi. When are we moving to our new place? We are moving just as fast as we can as soon as this property out here in Colorado sells. So we go live on April 6th. We will be an active listing on April 6th. So we're going in tandem now for different reasons, just so, if we have showings out here that we can take care of the animals and stuff. It's not fair to ask a house sitter to deal with all of that on top of it, and just causes their price to go up. And anyway, so yeah, we're going to be moving just as soon as this place sells. So please, um, all your good sell thoughts out there for us. Bree, you just picked the last of the collards before that storm 2 weeks ago. Wow. You probably don't need to plant collards this year. Carolyn, how did you hold up in your area with that storm? Did you guys get hit? Or hopefully it just, kind of passed over? Yes, Lynn, it is very tiring being able to have two um, garden seasons like that. But oh my gosh, is it worth it? I remember, and because the only time I've gardened, it was in Virginia. And I didn't even start, I didn't have a garden when my kids were little. Um, but yeah, I remember just going out there every evening and thinking, oh, I'm just going to pick a couple handfuls of things. Oh, I'm just going to pick a couple, tomatoes. And then I'd run back in the house and grab a basket, and I'd be bringing in a basket of green beans and a basket of peppers, and then having to get on that right away. And it was exhausting, but you know what? It is so worth it. It is so good. And I can't wait for that type of exhaustion again. And I'm so excited that aspect of it to get this ablation done so I don't have any pain, so that I'm not hobbling around by that evening if I've spent too much time on my feet. So I'm really excited for that too. I'm excited to be able to get in there and paint and, plant and just do all the things. I know I keep saying that. Carolyn, you got hit hard. Oh no, I'm sorry. You were on my live 2 weeks ago. I remember your name and you saying you were from Mississippi, talking about your damage. That's right. You had limbs everywhere and some damage to your fence in the backyard. But wasn't there another storm this past week? Oh, sorry, guys. I know that I watch Miss Lori from Whippoorwill Holler, and she's in Arkansas, but I didn't know if that one got you too or not. Wow. I am so sorry. I know that that's hard. We've been hit with a storm. We got hit one time in Charlottesville with a really bad storm. Had to replace the guttering on the house and some shingles on the house. But so I hope you're starting to recoup from that. You had some wind and rain from that one. Well, at least that's good. You didn't have any more trees down or limbs or anything like that. Have you been able to recover from that, yet? Or are you still working on it? That's a lot of work. Having to clean up stuff like that. That is a lot of work. I know that we were cleaning up, oh my gosh, probably a couple weeks, because we had a big tree come down, and it hit the roof, and then it hit the deck, and we had one of those tables with the umbrella, and it looked like a glass top, but it was like that kind of frosted stuff. I didn't think it was glass. I thought it was like some sort. I knew it wasn't plastic, but I didn't think it was glass. Let me tell you, that stuff shattered into a million pieces. Dean and I were out there with a shop vac and chiseling it out between the cracks in the deck, sucking that up. It was a mess. You were under a tornado watch, Bree. I was wondering, as I didn't know how far it went, but South Carolina can usually a lot of times, get hit pretty hard too with the coastal areas. Carolyn, you got an estimate for limb removal of $3,000. My gosh. But Samaritan's Purse had crews here from North Carolina. That was nice. And they were beyond awesome cleaning our yard. I've heard they're really great. I have. That is fantastic. That saves in so many ways, not just, financially, which is a huge burden, but just, your peace of mind. And that's a lot too. That is a lot too. I'm glad you're back with us tonight. I sure do. I sure do enjoy these. I look forward to it every single week. I do. And yeah. So now we'll have our weekly live streams on Friday nights. And then, like I said, I'll be trying to post to Substack um, every Saturday. And it's not any particular theme type thing. It's just about, whatever's on my mind and in my heart that week. Yes, I'm sure supper is ready, Lynn. Yep, it is that time. Good night, Lynn. Thank you for joining. And guys, you're right. It is 6:02 here on my time. So I know it's getting late East Coast, and we have run our hour. But always great visiting with you guys. Carolyn, you're getting ready for hip replacement surgery April 6th. Oh my gosh, the same day as mine. Well, my back thing. I'm so ready to get it over with for sure. Oh, I bet you are. Keep me posted or somehow. My dad, I went through it with him last June, and now it's made a world of difference. But yeah, I bet you're in a lot of pain. I'm so sorry, but I do hope it goes smoothly and you have a wonderful and speedy recovery. Okay, guys. So everyone have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. And I will be visiting with you soon. Take care, everyone. You're welcome, Carolyn. April 6th is going to be a great day. Good night.